We will hear more about the all digital and Microsoft collaboration on integrating generative AI in adult education. On that subject, I would like to invite and hear from Mr. Gerardo Franco, Philanthropies lead for Europe and Microsoft, for the general overview of the collaboration. Mr. Laurentiu Bunescu, head of digital education program at EOS Romania Foundation. Ferrer, head and the employment area at Esplai Foundation, who will tell us more about the local impact of the project, and on objectives of the collaboration we will hear from Palvolgyi, the CEO of Voltel. The floor.
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity. We would like to use the short time we have to announce a very important collaboration, a start of collaboration, a new collaboration between All Digital and Microsoft. And those who are the history of All Digital, which was called Telecenter Europe previously, may know that Microsoft was one of the main supporters of Telecenter Europe that time for the first very few years. I think without Microsoft and its support, or digital Telecenter Europe couldn't have been existed as it is today. But then our collaboration has changed. You still support our flagship events, activities, but I think you were focusing more on national collaboration with national level partners. But this is the time when we come back to a European level collaboration, which we are going to speak about. And we have Gerardo Franco with us from Microsoft, and you will speak about your skill in partnership and initiatives. And we have Laurentiu and Joel, members of the board of All Digital, representing All Digital member organizations, EOS Romania and Esplai Fundación, who have a lasting collaboration with Microsoft, so they will speak about their experience. And I will use a few minutes to announce the new project, and I think it will be particularly interesting for all digital member organizations. So Gerardo, I think you would like to start. The floor is yours, and I think you have a presentation.
Thank you. Clearly, I'm not good at tech. And you stole so many of my words, Peter. It's like, I was going to talk about our long-lasting relationship and how it's evolved, but thank you for that. So you're saving some time for everyone, and I think everyone's heard some of the corporate speech, so to speak, so we can move forward. I just want to talk to you about how there's a difference between Serena that just spoke. She's from the education team. It's an industry-focused team at Microsoft. I represent Microsoft Philanthropies, which really is the philanthropic arm of Microsoft, and we work with nonprofits to drive positive impact in the communities where we operate. And hence, our biggest partners around the world are nonprofits, skilling nonprofits, through which we try to drive impact, positive impact. Why? Because we still, I went back too soon. Yeah, we still have the same mission, empowering every person and organization in the plan to achieve more. But our particular mission at Philanthropies is to do that through technology, through grants, skilling people, and making sure that they have all the tools they need to succeed in this world. And so our skilling approach, basically we have a very ambitious goal of skilling 10 million people by 2025. It sounds, like a lot, but this started a while back, especially during the pandemic. Education, digital education became such a crucial aspect of our lives. Nowadays, I can say we've reached about 8.5 million people, and we still have 1.5 million to go, but we're very confident in our approach, where we partner with governments, with nonprofits. We definitely ensure that we have, how do we partner? We provide grants, but we have free skilling resources, trainer toolkits, and we provide that data insights that help make decisions on which are in-demand jobs that we should be skilling for, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of like the overall approach. We have digital programs on cybersecurity skilling, sustainability skilling, and now AI skilling, which we already had before, but I think we're moving more into a more ambitious target on AI skilling. And you can see some of the numbers above that I mentioned, the 8.5 million, but I don't want to get into it. I want to get straight into what AI Skills Initiative is, which just launched this year. And so it basically, to put things into perspective, and this graph is super interesting, it took 16 years to reach 100 million mobile phone users, and it only took 3 months to get 100 million ChatGPT users. To put things into perspective, that's how fast generative AI has landed in our world. And I think Serena mentioned, you know, some of the bans on OpenAI and ChatGPT at the beginning of the year. And I just like to think about generative AI as, I mean, it is a turning point in history. When you think of Johannes Gutenberg in 1450 and the printing press, that changed the world as we know it, the way we interact with each other. The Ottoman Empire back then banned the printing press because they didn't want to lose power over how they would conduct religious, how religion could be transmitted, you know, orally, et cetera, and that set them back on a decline for years and years. And it's no surprise that the rate of per capita readers in Europe just skyrocketed. We're looking at something similar here. OpenAI and ChatGPT, et cetera, everything you've heard is changing the world. Generative AI is here to stay, and it's changing the ways we learn, we interact with each other. I think rather than resisting the change, we have to harness it and make sure that we are using it responsibly, and that OpenAI, so generative AI is a tool, and that's we call it a co-pilot for doing things, for learning, for working, et cetera. So that's what we're trying to do, and this is a slide that Serena couldn't properly show because it wasn't showing. But these are the skills, and what she mentioned is all of these skills, save for the last one, are non-tech related, right? Critical thinking, creativity are things we all need to harness AI. AI by itself cannot do our jobs. It needs to be guided. It needs to be inspired. It needs to be put into a clear path. And these are the types of skills that our students, learners, lifelong learners need to succeed in an AI economy. And these are the types of, I can barely read that. It's so far, I need better glasses. Oh yes, the 15 skills, and you can see AI and big data are third among top employers across the world. Just gonna move on to what we're offering as Microsoft Philanthropies to really rise to the challenge, making sure that everyone is empowered with the AI skills they need. So we launched a new learning pathway on LinkedIn Learning. We partnered with LinkedIn, which is a partner company of Microsoft, and we developed this learning pathway that's available freely to everyone. And when you complete the modules, which I have, by the way, it's super interesting. I really encourage you to do it. You get a Career Essentials certificate that is an industry-recognized certification that can be shared with employers, etc. And this learning pathway is actually being upgraded and improved all the time. Now it has a new module that's not featured here that includes how to use Copilot AI tools. So it's super interesting, and this is our main content that we're promoting. And secondly, we do have some community engagement events to explain generative AI, to explain what responsible AI principles are, the opportunities in the AI economy, etc. And these are taking place in key languages across the world. So we already had one in French 2 weeks ago, and the English one is happening in 2 weeks, and then we have Spanish at the end of the month. We even have Arabic at the end of the month. So we're trying to hit big markets, big languages to really raise awareness, and we'll continue to do that, and having a frank conversation with our communities to ensure that we understand what the issues are, the challenges, and the opportunities to move forward. So that's basically me, and I did have a very small video, but we don't have to watch that. I don't know if it play. Oh, it does play. I don't. Oh, there's no sound. But I don't think we need sound. Oh, yes, thank you. This is basically showing you what the co-pilot AI tools mean for the workplace and the types of skills you need to use these co-pilot tools really are creativity, critical thinking, etc. And these are things that we need to instill in learners before they can use these tools, which will radically change the workplace to ensure that people's time is freed up to do more creative tasks and not waste time on repetitive tasks. You can find this online, by the way, in case you're interested. All right, now on to our long, trustworthy partners, Joel and Laurentiu, to talk about how we've worked together and how we plan on working together in the future.
Well, okay, perfect. Hello, everyone. It is a great pleasure to share the stage today with colleagues from Microsoft, All Digital, and Fundación Esplai. I think we've been all working together for a very long time indeed, and as someone that has been with All Digital from its early beginnings, I can confirm that it all started basically I think back in 2007 when a group of Microsoft grantees organizations came together and decided that we need a bigger and larger presence at the European level. And that's how basically Telecenter Europe started and transformed into All Digital. But at that point, I remember that we were talking mainly about basic digital skills, and we didn't even know exactly those basic digital skills were. And then Digicom came along and helped us to understand better what they were. And I think it's interesting to have witnessed all this evolution of technology and the way we managed to respond together quickly in order to make sure that no one is left behind. So, you know, whenever we talk about teachers or trainers, unemployed people, needs, you name it, we have managed somehow to develop quick interventions to make sure that these people are, you know, on board with the digital transformation. So I think, you know, as Georg Dimitrov said yesterday from the European Commission, is that, you know, the governments cannot act alone when it comes to digital skills and ensuring digital inclusion. And I think this is a great example that, you know, industry can work with training associations such as All Digital, such as Fundación Esplai and EOS, to create training, learning programs that are tailor-made for the different audiences and that can respond quickly to various challenges. So speaking from my organization, Foundation EOS, in Romania, we have a long-lasting partnership with Microsoft, and we have worked on different projects. We work both for the formal education sector as well as for the larger community, let's say. We have been implemented projects such as the Microsoft Showcase School, in which we are working with schools in Romania, and we try to bring teachers to, to understand the newest technologies. And AI was one of them. And what I wanted to mention today is that AI, in probably the last year, has become, a very important topic in Romania as well as in other countries, and there is a great interest from teachers in the formal education system to understand better how they can use AI in teaching. So I think this new partnership is very timely. It's coming at the right moment. In the last 2 days, we've heard so much about how important and how impactful is the generative AI. I'm looking forward to work together in this initiative. I know it's a very, ambitious one. I won't be talking about figures and targets. I will leave this to Peter. I know it's ambitious, but I think we as a community have already proven that we are able to face challenges and to be able to reach a great number of teachers and trainers by using the strength of our network. And I would like to invite All Digital members and other organizations that are still not members of All Digital to join this initiative and to understand better how we can work together. And that's it from me now, maybe.
Thank you, Laurentiu. I made your words my words because I think our experience with Fundación Esplai and EOS is very similar. It has been very similar in very much aspects. And with the collaboration with Microsoft Philanthropies in that case, I think more or less it's the same because it has been more than 20, I think it's 25 years already, so it was from the past century. It sounds very ancient. But we had to do, I would like to say that we as an organization had to do big efforts because we start with Microsoft Philanthropies to create telecenters, digital competence centers, in different places in Spain. We had to create, to make the space, to put some equipment, some connection, and of course, e-facilitators. It's three of the main elements important when you try to make digital literacy. But then we had to start with coding, with Minecraft. We had to develop, to make projects to raise the early vocational of young people through code, but especially with girls, because then they decide to start STEM careers. Numbers say that we are not doing very good, but we've done a big effort in that part. Then we work with refugees. Then we had to work in employability to cover that gap of ICT professionals that we need in ICT companies. We made boot camps. We have been training young unemployed people with coding boot camps, with cybersecurity, and now from the last years in AI. So I think as a non-profit, we had to do a big effort to become better, to do better work with our final users, with our not only the people, underserved people, but as well with our net. We have a net, and our own net of different non-profits that make the role of digital competence centers, and we had to push them to update in their trainings, in their projects. And I think it was very hard for us, very fruitful. So thank you, Microsoft, to trust in Fundación Esplai, in EOS, and of course Now I feel enthusiastic because you trust again in all digital in that case, and I think it will be hard, for sure, Peter, it will be hard, it is, but I think it could be very interesting, and the topic, I think it's very interesting for the most of us and for our entity members. So thank you and congratulations.
Then I think it's my turn to speak a little bit about this project initiative. And I have a few slides about that. Thank you. So a few months ago we were, thank you, invited by Microsoft to think about a project proposal which would capitalize on our membership and build on an education program, or build an education program around generative AI. So we came up with a project proposal entitled Integrating Generative AI in Adult Education, and the main aim is to empower trainers, teachers and facilitators across Europe who are mainly related or linked to our member organizations. So the main objectives of this project is to support the provision of basic digital skills and competencies through our network, but in particular to increase knowledge and understanding of generative AI, and very importantly, to integrate generative AI in education and training services that our member organizations are providing. So this is a training of trainers program targeting at teachers, trainers, facilitators, educators of the all digital education community. And through this program and Train of Trainers program, we would like to also further empower all digital member organizations. So as about the content, we are talking about 7 courses that will be provided online, available through the All Digital Academy platform, and you can see the titles of these courses, starting with Introduction to Generative AI, Introduction to AI in general, and then moving towards how to implement and use generative AI in designing and implementing training programs for end beneficiaries. These courses will be provided not all at the same time, but not with the first and the second and the third over a 7-month period. And each course will last for 4 hours and available through online means. And after the completion of each course, we will provide a badge, a recognition to those who complete the course. And we believe that we would be able to reach 6,000, we say learners, but they are, as I mentioned, educators who will earn at least 1 badge, meaning to take at least one, complete at least. I think there will be a lot. Of them who will continue the training and complete all the 7 courses, so then they can obtain a full badge on this educational content. We would like to have at least 50% of women or non-binary people attending our courses, meeting Microsoft important metrics, and by providing this training program to educators, we have an indirect target impact that our educators will further provide training to end users, final beneficiaries, especially to those people who are at risk of exclusion from the AI economy. And who are these people? Low-skilled, low-income workers, individuals with limited digital literacy, or different underrepresented groups of the society, displaced workers whose work is affected by the AI economy, or rural and remote communities. There are a number of supportive actions also embedded in this project. We are going to further strengthen and make it more important the All Digital Academy AI community of practice. now. We are providing webinars featuring experts and educators who are experiencing the learning content, but also who are implementing generative AI in the education practices. A number of face-to-face workshops are foreseen, and as well online workshops which are related to the 7 different modules of the training offer. Next year, by this time next year, most probably there will be a new All Digital Award category recognizing those educators, teachers, trainers who have the most successful, who are the most successfully implementing Gen AI in their education practices. We will highlight the project during the All Digital Summits as we're doing today. We will do it next year, and also during the All Digital Weeks campaign next spring. And we will also promote or support the whole idea through a social media campaign, which is aimed at awareness raising on these topics. And finally, why is important to speak about this today? Because this program is for all digital member organizations mainly, and we would like to select and identify through an open call 20 all digital member organizations who will support us in the implementation of the activity, mainly by disseminating, talking about this opportunity, and also directly engaging educators in the program in countries, regions, and those 20 member organizations will also receive a small sub-grant from O Digital from this project budget. And very lastly, the project timeline is hopefully we can start the work in October next month. And it's a 1-year project. And of course, you will hear more about it after we officially start, and we'll reach out and explain you the program in further details. So thank you very much, and if you have any, we are very happy to answer, but I'm also very conscious about the time we have left for the next panel, which is probably half an hour shorter already. So if you have any burning questions, please ask. If not, I would.
And I do want to say,
yes,
Peter, I just want to thank you all for sharing our ambition. And I know it's hard sometimes, and rising to the challenge is very difficult, but we have to rise to the challenge. We have no choice. So thank you once again for your partnership and for the efforts that go into rising to the challenge.